Today marks the deadline for the government to reunite thousands of immigrant children with their parents. Now, we've seen a number of reunions, but hundreds of families are still separated. The government has acknowledged that nearly 1,000 families may have to wait longer. The reason? Well, according to the government, parents may have already been deported, waived reunification because of criminal backgrounds or otherwise unfit, and lawyers working with immigrants say the reunification efforts have been chaotic, to say the least. So for more on this and to provide some more clarity, we are joined on the phone by reporter Emma Platoff from the Texas Tribune. Emma, thank you so much for joining us. We really need you to break this down for us. So there was so much attention to this story when the families were separated. How are things now that the deadline is here?
Well, I think this story has really stirred the hearts and minds of people across America. A lot of people are watching today to see how many of these 2,500 or so immigrant children will actually be reunited by the deadline.
Is it possible, Emma, that some of the kids may never see their parents again?
For a lot of the kids, reunification is certainly uncertain. I don't know about never again, but the government has conceded in court documents that about 500 parents have already left the country, likely deported, and it's hard for them to track those down. So for kids in those situations, it's difficult to know when they might be reunited.
So what's going to happen if the government doesn't meet this deadline?
The federal courts don't have a standing army. There isn't a clear way to enforce deadlines like this. I think the biggest check on the Trump administration is public attention and public opinion.
Well, thank you so much, Emma. We appreciate you providing clarity. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
So this is a hot button issue. We see a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people feeling helpless and hopeless. What can they do? I found out today that not only do we have those organizations like ACLU and Race that is doing a lot for reunification of the families, but a lot of faith-based groups, a lot of churches are the ones that are there helping the reunification, giving clothes, giving resources. I wish that we could highlight them.
Oh, I agree with you. And I think, as a faith-based guy myself and a Christian, I think it's always sometimes incumbent upon faith-based organizations to reach out and help. And I think that's exactly what they've done in this circumstance, and they should continue doing that.
Yeah, and I think Emma seemed pretty optimistic there about reuniting all the families. I understand it's
not all of them are going to be reunited.
I get that, because it's going to be very difficult in any situation to reunite them. But she's very optimistic. I think people are working hard. Hopefully this deadline gets pushed again, because it seemed from the last deadline till now, they got a lot done. But like you said, I think we have to look at the positive that what people are doing on this subject, than rather just focus on the negative.
Erica?
I would appreciate more transparency just all the way around, just because, it shouldn't be complicated for a child to be reunified with their parent.
Yeah, amen. And you can visit our social pages, because we will have links to a number of different organizations and churches that are doing a lot right now. They're on the ground helping these families reunite.